Hey, yo, what's going on, you guys? Episode number 19 of Marvel Yap today, where we're going to be live reacting to the OTA that happened this past week, talking about Series 1 cards, their impact on the meta, how can we make them better, as well as talking about what gifts Marvel Snap has given us in the past. Which ones have we loved? Which ones are considered gifts? And then, of course, we're going to have some questions for you guys at the end of the video. But let's go ahead and jump right into it. And as always, we are joined with the hostess with the mostest, notmydance. How are we doing today, Dance?
Doing solid, doing solid. I've been having honestly a lot of fun in Snap, partially because of this OTA that we had. I've been enjoying it. I've been having a lot of fun using some of the cards that were given a little bit of love. It's been an enjoyable time. I've been been playing a good chunk, at least not feeling like I need to be like I'm forced into play. I think we talked about that before. Just having fun with it, and it's been just a breath of fresh air. But how's it been for you?
I mean, honestly, I haven't been playing a lot of Snap recently. I've been just kind of just coasting along, playing my missions and stuff, and like when the new card comes out, like that's probably when I've been playing Snap. But I do want to give a huge shout out to you for the beta ray build change, which is something you called weeks, maybe even months ago on one of our OTA kind of wants and wish list things, and we finally got it. And with that being said, do you think this feels way better than before?
Definitely. I just think I feel like it's just without a doubt it's better. Now that, I mean, the only question with this now is when are they going to listen to the rest of what I said? Now Mjolnir gets a point or two.
Yeah.
And that's what we need. And I think because Stormbreaker just gives the thing power, because like they said in the notes, because we're just going straight into the OTA reactions here. One of the things that they said is that they could give they could give Beta Ray Bill 7 power, but that really, especially with it ramping it, doubling, it's a lot. And so just letting Stormbreaker have a bit of that extra power just does more stuff for the deck. And I think that I was right. I'm happy with that, and I'm glad that it's been played. I feel like the play rate's gone up a bit as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think actually if we just want to go ahead and look at the cards real quick, and then we'll go over the stats overall, because we have the stats from 30 days total, and then from the past 5 days now, I think, since OTA-ish, roughly. But just in case you guys did not know what got adjusted in the OTA overall, we had some crazy stuff. We had some stuff we've been wanting for a while. We'll start with kind of the lowlights and then go into the highlights. So Lockjaw is now a 4/5 instead of a 4/4. So Lockjaw got an extra point of power. Frigga is now a 3/4 instead of a 3/3. Frigga also got a point of power, which I didn't understand why Frigga needed a buff or Lockjaw, but
I mean, I got the Lockjaw one much more than I felt like the Frigga one. I feel like the Lockjaw one made sense because Lockjaw just wasn't being played. And I still think now it's not super playable because it's just such a strong effect.
yeah.
And so I don't even think it's super playable still, but I get why it got a buff. The Frigga one, I feel like Frigga was still playable. Just wasn't played a lot.
When you saw all of the move stuff and like higher infinite and everything too. So Frigga is 3/4. And then Elsa went to a 3/4 as well, which is probably to push the, thing we're going to be talking about later, where we're getting a free Elsa later in the month. If you don't have Elsa, you're getting a variant, whatever.
I was actually surprised. Okay, I'm sorry for thinking low of second dinner, but if they're giving something for free, I didn't expect them to get to buff the thing that they're giving to people. I thought they would be like, okay, yeah, the card's pretty bad right now. We'll just let it sit over there, and we will put it to a 3/4, or leave it at the 3/3 before we give it to everyone else, because we don't want to buff a card and then give it to the whole population of Snap. No, they would decide to buff a card and then give it to the whole population of Snap, which is not what I expected, and I'm very surprised about this change mostly, I think.
Yeah, it's the free card win for Snap. It's not like, with Kitty Pryde, when Kitty Pryde was broken, they had to completely change the entire card and nerf it to the ground. But anyways, then also we do have Shuri. Shuri went from a 4/1 to a 4/3, which is crazy because we were talking about Sauron last week, and I was like, Sauron needs this, Sauron needs that. And then we got the Shuri buff, and I'm like, yes, this is good, but like I kind of liked Shuri at a 4/1 with Ravonna for some of those interactions.
Yeah, but it wasn't played there.
No.
That's the thing, right? Like, I feel like I was in a similar boat where I'm like, yeah, I like doing this. And then I actually went and looked back at, because Untapped will show you the decks that you've played.
Yeah.
And I went back and I looked at my decks that I've had where Shuri was a 4-1. I was using it with Ravonna.
Mm-hmm.
And those win rates and stuff like that were abysmal. I'm like, oh, maybe she doesn't actually need to be that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because she was originally like a 4-2, and then she went to 4-1, and now she's a 4-3, so it's her highest power, I think. Or was she a 4-4 at one point?
I don't even think it was that. It was the fact that it didn't care where her next card was played.
Yes, that's where she originally was. But then she was like a 4-2 power, and then they brought it to a 4-1. She was a 4-some whatever.
She's gone through a lot of changes.
Yeah.
Shuri's gone through a lot, and they even mentioned the fact that she was once a metagame timer. She was once one of the best cards in the game, and now she's at a place where she's just like, okay. And I don't even think this. I'm glad they made the change.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it matters. I don't think it's going to be a really big thing. I don't think that we're going to be seeing a bunch of Shuri decks getting a rise. I don't know what they're going to have to do to make said change in order to make that actually occur. But it's just not really crazy.
No, I think it's the state of health like for tech cards we have right now, whether it is like a card like Alioth that kind of, could come down and alter the Shuri stuff. It's just so predictable because it's onto the same lane. Shadow King and stuff like that as well are very applicable cards. Yeah. But Alioth got changed from a 6'10 to a 6'9. We were talking about this last yap. Dance was one that we brought it up to. Is like Alioth needs a point of power reduced, and sure enough, we got a point of power. That's another point for Dance over here.
I'm just saying that
you're just cooking.
Apparently, I will say with it, I still think it could lose more.
Yeah.
With it being at a 6'9, I've been playing it. I've been playing against it a good chunk. It could still stand to lose it. I think it's at 30. We'll look at the stats later. I think it's still at like 30% or something. It's a lot. And
it's
I'm
still
like,
incredible.
I don't enjoy this card. I get it. It's a card that it maybe it's difficult to find a place. Maybe it was too low at a 6'8. I don't think it was. I want it back there. I want it to be a thing that's like a sudden thing you don't expect. I don't need it to be a thing that's like in so many decks. I don't know.
Well, I think we all pushed for people to get this card, so I think that's why you're seeing it in so many different decks too.
Speaking of pushing people to get cards, yeah, this was a fun change.
So Arishem got nerfed, and also it's not a buff, but like it kind of is at the same time. So hear me out. So like now Arishem, you don't get your extra energy until turn 3. So you start turn 1 and turn 2 with 1 energy, 2 energy. You shuffle 12 new cards into your deck. So they're not duplicates. They can't be duplicates of cards you already have in your deck. But you're not getting the extra 3 shuffle anymore. It's not 15 cards. It's now 12 cards. So that's the like a slightest bit of buff for the inevitable huge nerf this is to the card, which I still think this card is playable. It's just you're kind of setting stuff up later in the game now with the extra energy instead of prior.
And this is one that I'll say again, where people are talking about like, hey, they've killed Air. No, I'm not even going to let that finish the sentence.
Yeah.
Again, we'll look at the stats exactly later, but Arishem's fine. Arishem's still extremely playable and is still being played a lot. Right. The biggest thing that I really enjoy about this is, for one, I think we had talked about before, making it so it can't put in duplicates. We talked about that, and that was one thing we really wanted. However, I never heard anyone talk about the wait till a certain turn before you get the extra max energy. That was one thing I never heard anyone talk about. And again, it's a point I want to give to Second Dinner.
Yes.
Because they now basically removed 2 energy generation from Arishem. Kind of making it like a 9-cost card if you really want to think about it that way. But like, it is a lot different. And then the biggest thing that I really personally enjoy is it's new cards. If I get Shang-Chi'd once, I don't have to think in 15 cards did they generate another one? No, they didn't. So I like it. It's a really fun change.
Yeah, I think it's a very good change. I think it's a healthy change. I think, like you said, this card's still playable. It could have been much worse.
It wasn't nerfed because it was broken, right? And that it's similar to what we had with Hela a little bit ago, right? And people really liked Hela. People really liked this card. They want a diverse metagame, and so they nerfed a card in order to bring it back down into a hopefully not a majority, or they didn't even say a majority. I don't remember what the exact percentage was, but hopefully so it's not one of the most dominant decks inside of the game.
Yes.
I liked it.
And I like that as well. Another change that I think was very applicable and I was actually for is the Typhoid Mary change. Typhoid Mary afflicts everything in the lane with -2 power instead of just -1 power. I think the downside of Typhoid Mary was way better since they buffed her in the OTA a couple weeks ago or a month ago or more over 2 months ago, probably close to now, or when it was like around Surger times. So I think this is a very key change. It makes Luke Cage be more, applicable in the type of decks you do with Typhoid Mary, or even like a Zero, or kind of an Enchantress kind of thing. But that I think this change was healthy. I actually like this change.
Yeah, I think it was a really good change. I feel like, yeah, it just felt like a good pulse, because I'm kind of thinking like, yeah, I think we talked about it before, maybe we didn't, but it was like, is this just the definition of power creep? Is this just Typhoid Mary showing that she can't exist at her previous thing, and she now needs to be this? But now that she's hitting her lane so heavily, I kind of feel like that brings her back down to where she was before, but not as bad as that, so it can still work in like that Surtur style list.
Yeah, I think it's definitely drags her down a little bit. It's not as bad as it was the entire board, but -2 is pretty vital. I mean, you see why people run Man-Thing and stuff as well. If you don't get the Luke Cage, you're screwed. So that was another change. And then we do have Black Widow went from a 3/4 to a 3/3. She got nerfed, which I think actually I'm not opposed to this. I think the Activate actually makes Black Widow really solid as well. And I think people are playing into it. Yes, you don't get the Misery freaking Phoenix Force shenanigans, which was the absolute freaking worst thing ever. But this card still was pretty good at a 3/4.
Yeah, I think they even mentioned that that Grandmaster was part of the reason why they wanted to nerf her. That stuff where she's triggered over and over again. And then they mentioned, you know what? Maybe Grandmaster's not that good. And since that he was removed from those decks, they've gotten better. Yep. And it kind of just makes you think. Here's a really spicy take. I'm just going to give you right now. Black Widow, and I'm not saying it's going to happen today. I'm not going to say it's going to happen next month or even a month or two in advance. I think at some point in 2025, Black Widow is going to get a rework.
Really?
I don't think they want this card to be good.
Okay.
And because whenever Black Widow is playable, she gets nerfed. I don't think Darkhawk has been that strong in the last month. It doesn't matter. Nerf.
Yeah.
She gets nerfed and nerfed. And I don't think that they want the Widow's Bite. I think we're going to get to a point where they just realize, oh, hey, this Widow's Bite is not a card we want. And that's it. So I think that if anything, we will be seeing Black Widow just get a rework at some point in the future, because they are never going to be happy with this card.
I wouldn't be opposed to it. I think what we have in the beginning part of 2025 anyways, we have a couple different card generating cards that are going to be in the game. They either give card generation buffs or add different card generations to your hand. So I wonder if this is another one of those things like, we don't want this type of card generation in the game. We kind of want to negate that kind of dynamic, kind of like what they did with Chavez, rest in peace. But that's different, completely different. But another great change that they have added into Marvel Snap as well is going to be Cerebro at a 2/0 instead of a 3/0. I haven't tested a lot with Cerebro. Have you been messing around with him at all, or?
I tried. I think Cerebro 5 is the only playable deck. Maybe Cerebro 3. Okay. But I miss Cerebro 2. It's not playable without Storm. I think that's just where it exists.
Gotcha.
And you know what I actually want? And it's not, we're talking about our OTA reactions, and it's not a prediction. But what I'd love to see is, I want to see Rhino lose a point of power. I want him in Cerebro 2. Okay. Give who was it? I watched a video of a Dexter video recently, and he started the video by talking about Cerebro 2, and he said, you know what? This deck can't deal with locations. So if you get bad locations, you're just kind of screwed. Yeah. And that's it. That's the way he ended that point. And the Marvel Snap's all about location, location, location. Cerebro hates locations, hates OTAs. Cerebro hates literally everything of nuance about Marvel Snap. And I really feel like Rhino would be a cool answer for that. And you just make him a 3. And here, if they don't even like a 3/2 on reveal, make him a when moved. When Rhino's moved, ruin his location.
It's kind of like a Nocturne, but like just ruins the ability.
Just ruins. And then also, it's a really bad kind of ability, but again, puts it directly in Cerebro 2 because you got Ghost Spider and you've got Iron Fist. Maybe gives you a point to ruin those locations. Yeah. So I want to see that stuff. I want to see something in regards to Cerebro 2 come back into the light. It's really all this OTA made me think, because I think this is really cool. I just don't think it's good.
Yeah, I think the change is good for Cerebro itself, but I think, like you said, the deck around Cerebro needs help to be able to have the dynamics to be more prevalent in the meta if we want things, to be, prevalent in the meta,
Yeah.
which is crazy because, I was talking about Cerebro a couple weeks ago as well. Not that Cerebro needed to change power, but it was like, what was it? You gave Cerebro +3 instead, but +3 is broken, and we know how that
I think
goes.
that was I think you actually said that in a hot take.
Yeah, I think it wasn't a hot take. But I think one of the changes we actually wanted to talk about last, which you guys might not think is actually a big change, but I think with what we got going on this next week with Doom 2099, we did get Enchantress going to a 4/6 from a 4/5. What are your thoughts on this Enchantress change?
We were here before. Again, this kind of feels like, wait, didn't we watch this show already? Yeah, we did. And we got to a point where we said this is broken, but now, again, is it just a power creep thing where we're just like, yeah, no, it's fine now. Like, is it a meta change? What is it? I don't know. But it's a very interesting change, especially with Doom 2099 coming out this week, because then that does turn off the ability of the Doom bot 2099s.
Yes.
That will be generated. And yeah, do you want to talk about Doombot? Their Doom 2099?
Yeah, let me pull up what we got with the Doom 2099 as we get all of these situated, and we go boom. We got Doom 2099 over here on screen, which reads is a 4-cost 2-power card. After each turn, add a Doombot 2099 to a random location if you played exactly 1 card. And then if you want to let the lovely listeners hear what Doom 2099's bot does.
Yeah, the Doombot 2099 say your other Doombots and Doom have +1 power. And that is confirmed by Second Dinner to also include Dr. Doom, the 6-cost version, as well as the Doombots. Very, very fun. Very interesting. Well, what do you feel about this card?
So I think this card it's going to be pretty good. I think it's very niched for what it does, but in the lists where you are, playing the way like you're supposed to with this card, you're going to be able to output a lot of power. And like with Enchantress, it really just depends where the Doombots go because it is completely random. You can kind of play out your cards in such a way so your Doombots have a targeted kind of location or a higher percentage chance to land in certain areas. And I think what's really cool about this, opposed to, I'm thinking like Scarlet Spider, how it adds a copy to a random location. This can actually go to the same location as Doom, opposed to having to be a different location.
I don't think it can.
It does.
I think it's just to another location.
They add the Doombot to the same location in the video, to a random location. In the dev video. I could have sworn there was a version of this that said to another location. Maybe I'm wrong entirely. The old other one probably said another, because that's how Scarlet Spider reads. Scarlet Spider is another location.
Yeah.
Where this one just says a random location, so it could be any.
Fair
of the
enough.
three.
Yeah. No, I was actually I've misread that, and I definitely thought it couldn't go to its own location, but still, this I don't know. I just feel like it's gonna be a really cool card. I feel like it gives you really easy curve lines, and obviously, I mean, this is obviously just a way to make a Doom deck a real deck. We talked about that before, and we've already said that maybe stuff's going to be happening in the future with maybe a Bruce or another Captain America. That'd be crazy. But anyway, I really like the stuff. I think it's a really cool stuff, really cool card, as well as really cool ability. I'm excited to see it work in the game, and hopefully it does. As well as I'm excited by this deck. How does this deck building look for you? Imagine, and let's pretend for a second that our listeners or watchers are for some reason just not watching the buy or bust videos that Tucker's putting out. Imagine that. Y'all wildin' if that's true. But let's imagine for a second that they haven't. What's the logic there? What are you thinking?
So like this makes me want to have old Sandman back in a way, because I think in an older Sandman time this card would have totally thrived. But I think you can still play Sandman. Sandman's still applicable right now with the way people are playing cards out. But you're playing this on curve into a Sandman into a Doctor Doom, or maybe you're doing it in a Patriot shell that's not a Sandman Patriot, and you also have Blue Marvel. You have Patriot as well because you have Doctor Doom and his bots give you extra power. Or maybe you're playing this in like a Zabu kind of deck to ramp this out early to maximize how many Doombots you can have on the board for some kind of Mockingbird or like not necessarily like Zoo shenanigans. But that's kind of just where my head went like immediately.
Yeah, that's fair. No, actually, because that's about where I'm thinking as well. I do think a lot of people are going to be talking about, like, I heard blue Marvel and stuff tossed around, and I really don't think that's the way to go. Maybe it's Patriot. I'm wondering, and I've also heard cute things where people are going to be trying to do, like Spectrum things because the Doombots are ongoing or Onslaught. I'm going to be surprised if Spectrum works. Maybe Onslaught could. I really feel like the key thing is, I think Sandman. I think you said it originally. I think Sandman's going to be one of the best cards to go with this because you want to make it as little cards being played per turn as possible.
Yeah.
Turn 4 Doombot or Doom 2099. Turn 5 Sandman. Turn 6 Doctor Doom. And you just that's your line. You don't need to worry about the extra power, the extra cost of those cards because you want it to be as quick and seamless as possible. I do like the Zabu stuff as well, though, because like trying to do imagine like an Iron Lad or like a Jubilee to pull it out a turn early, and then you can get the and then you have a couple other turns where you can try to ramp stuff out. I feel like there's going to be a lot of fun there. So I think both of those are where I'm currently like ruminating for myself. I feel like I don't know. I said it before. This is the card I think is going to be the most fun, the most powerful this season. But I also am not going to be surprised if I'm very quickly kind of over it because I don't think there's a lot of depth into this card.
Yeah, I think like in theory this card's like really cool, you know, like I only have to play one card, I get the value here. I think there's also going to be like instances like you said where it's going to be like a little boring. It's like, okay, well I'm only playing one card. Oh, is it going to land in this spot where I need it to land to win the game, or is it going to not land here kind of thing? But it really just depends on how you deck build. And like when it comes to these cards as well, get cards that you think you're going to enjoy playing. And I say with a caveat as well, wait a couple days before spending resources too, because who knows what could happen. Maybe there's a new meta deck that happens on the weekend, or maybe people are literally like, this card is absolutely trash, and you just spent 6k tokens on a card that's going to just sit on your shelf like Scarlet Spider did for me for a while. But these cards do sometimes have value later on, so just keep it in mind. FOMO totally is a thing. But we were talking about earlier how we're going to look at the stats of these cards from the OTA real quick from about the past 30 days. This is all post-Infinite and compared to the past like 5 days since the OTA. And starting out with the cards on screen, we do have Eliath as the #1 card on, I think this we have listed as tier. I'm going to switch it to popularity, and it looks pretty much the exact same.
It's going to be about the same. Frigga's actually still up there, though. And so, I mean, she is being played a lot, especially, like we said, in those top meta decks. Does that change at all if you make it, like, top 10%? For maybe, to see if does that change for, like, that top group? She goes up a bit. Goes to C, at least. I don't know.
Black
maybe
Widow
she
goes
needed
up
the buff.
too.
I stand by it. I stand by the thing I said about Black Widow. Actually going to 0.19 average cubes. That's actually wild. But I don't know. Looking at normal stats again, I feel like in general this, I feel like they did hopefully a pretty good job with these changes. I've been enjoying it a lot. I really think that I just feel like they did a good job. They hit the nail on the head, and they got a good pulse of what's going on in the meta.
And then looking at them actually post OTA, you want to do top 10% again, or?
Sure, why not? Let's see what we got.
All right. And top 10% over here, we have Frigga's even better.
Oh God, sorry. I just saw the Eliath at 32%. I hate that so much, Tucker. You have no idea how much I hate that. I want the card down. Kick it. Kick that.
Gosh.
It's a fart cloud. Why in the world is this fart ruminating as long as it has?
It went up actually 3 points in the meta since the change.
I hate Eliath so much. It's not fun.
Frigga actually got better too.
I mean, yeah, Frigga. I'm not surprised got better at least.
Beta Ray Bill
go down or?
Actually, it's positive cube rate. Positive cube rate for Beta Ray.
Beta Ray Bill's. I said it. Beta Ray Bill's a really fun card. It's been really good.
Airshim went from 14 to 9.
Okay.
Then Shuri's still bad.
Yep.
Typhoid Mary dropped actually quite a bit.
Oh, wow. That's a big Typhoid drop.
Yeah. And then
Yeah,
Black
that's a
Widow still
rough
is
one.
high win rate, but cube rate dropped dramatically, and Enchantress's cube rate went up.
Yeah, Enchantress, I feel like we're now seeing it at least a little bit more. It was just not being seen. So, I mean, I think we're just gonna have to see exactly what happens there, exactly how long it takes for this stuff to progress, for the meta to update, because I do feel a lot of it, I feel like a lot of it is gonna be very mellow. It's gonna take a bit to mellow out to see exactly what's gonna be occurring. But in general, I think it's feeling good. I feel like the meta's being really, I feel like it's just fresh. I don't have much problem with it. The decks that we're playing in the very top, I say we as if I'm up there with you in like the top 400. Are you in the top 400, 300? Where are you at?
I think I'm like 300 right now. I hit Infinite, and then since then I have just been playing Conquest, and my rank really hasn't. I mean, my rank fell, of course, from day one, but like I'm still top 400 just playing Conquest.
This guy just flexing so hard. He doesn't even try. It's upsetting. It's upsetting. What is it? But no, I feel like at the very top meta decks, I feel like they're fun. I feel like they're good. But it kind of segueing into the second subject, they're really late game focused. The meta does feel really fresh right now. It feels really diverse, but I think kind of going to the next subject, it's very narrow in terms of early game cards. Those Series 1, Series 2, and for a big part, Series 3 cards are a lot smaller percentages inside of those decks that we might see. And so, I mean, if we look at the top deck right now, apparently Ajax being pretty insane.
Oh my gosh.
And that top, I didn't know it was doing that well. This goes further into the theory that I think it's actually the top Ajax deck. What is it? Yeah, it goes further into the theory that I really want Luke Cage to get nerfed.
Because he wins literally this game. If you draw Luke Cage, you pretty much just win this game.
Yeah, no, that's why I want Luke Cage. I think, who was this? I heard Cam Best say that Luke Cage should be split up into a bunch of different effects. But I stand by the logic that I think Cam Best said in one of his videos where he wants Luke Cage like split up into a bunch of different cards. Where like maybe Luke Cage goes to like a 5 cost, the current ability with all that stuff. Then you get like a on reveal that removes all debuffs from your card's location at something lower, and then I don't remember what he said for a third thing, but like you just split it up. I feel like as it currently stands, it's too good of a card. I don't think there's going to be a world where Luke Cage can exist where he does. That's besides the point entirely. Sorry, I got really distracted there. But when you're looking at the top deck right now, it's not very free to play friendly right there.
No.
If I'm checking, is that 2 Series 3 card? No, 3. Right?
You have, Luke Cage, Shadow King, Hazmat.
Yeah, and that's it. We've got a couple Series 4 in there, a couple Series 5, and that's it. It's just, I hope that they look at these cards and they realize like, hey, I don't know, I want the cards that are in Series 1 to exist in later places. Because when I'm looking at that's everything we have in Series 1, there's a lot of cards there that are really cool. And I think some of them get used later on, right? The second best deck to move one's got like, it's got Iron Fist in there at least. It's got some Series 2 cards in there.
Yeah.
With Vulture. It's got it has stuff in earlier series, but again, the Series 1 cards that we have, I think they do a good job of bringing people into the game. I don't get why they have to be irrelevant as soon as you leave that series, pretty much.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me. Like, and that's, as someone who's trying to be like I feel like I'm honestly defending second dinner a good chunk of the time. When I'm looking at this stuff over here, I don't get why Series 1 cards have to be so not just unused as we get to later areas in the game. A couple of them still get used, right? Maybe we've got the armors, we've got the Cosmos. Destroy decks are using like Wolverine and stuff, but like in general, these cards are not being used in future places. I personally don't understand, and this is just for my own sake. I don't understand why we can't take like half these cards in Series 1 that aren't being used past that place and buff them. Yes, I get that you get to this place where it's like, all the what is it? That maybe there's just definitive answers in Series 1.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. There already is. People go on reveal or destroy. That's kind of it.
Yep.
Or sorry, on reveal or ongoing, pretty much. I feel like that's what I normally see players do. There is some stuff in Series, what is it? In Series 2 as well that I see people getting used, right? I don't remember every single card, but I do know that for a fact there's like, is that where Warpath exists? Is that
Warpath I think is Series 2.
I think actually I pulled it up. Yeah, he is in Series 2. So Warpath is Series 2.
Mm-hmm.
Rhino is Series 2. Sabretooth. I know the section is called Series 1 here, but like, I don't know. Especially when we're talking about the OTA, which kind of like merging subjects a bit. When I look at the OTA, when I was thinking of this OTA, I'm like, I would love it if they just took a bunch of these cards that were really not good and just buffed them. And maybe that's why like Rhino's in Series 2. Maybe that's why Rhino won't get buffed. But remove another point of power. I don't care. You already have garbage cards in Series 2. Why not add another one at this point? But then you think he's garbage, and then you're like, wait a second, I can use some location control in this game, and all of a sudden it's good. I don't know why is it the place where, like, again, Warpath is the one I'm thinking of most. Why does Warpath have to exist in such a bad place in order for there to be a thing where Rhino is somewhat good? It just doesn't, or not good at all. Sorry.
Well, I think it's just like they're thinking of the new player experience, not wanting to overwhelm and have 2 OP cards. But like at the same time, the new player experience is just so bad overall in Snap because of card acquisition later on in the game, where like they're trying to fix that because like you have to wait so long. I want to play Destroy, and I want to play the Destroy deck that I'm watching so-and-so streamer play, but I can't get Venom until I hit collection level 480.
Yeah. I think the new player experience is very bad in that section. I think it's good in terms of teaching them the game.
Yes.
I'll say that, and I think that they've done a great job of that. But when you actually look at everything else that's going on in the game,
yeah,
as soon as it goes into later stuff, like, why does it have to be so bad? Why do the players with lower collection level, when I'm playing against them in Infinite, I played against someone yesterday. I think I was using a deck, like a fully merged deck because it was a hot location. I was using full merge stuff. I'm pretty sure it has like 1 or 2 non-series, like just like non-super high series cards. And I'm using that whole combo deck, doing all this stuff. And I played against someone who's just running, a Koye, Scorpion, Sabretooth. Because those are the cards they have.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if that's like, yeah, right. Maybe it's the point where it's like they need to fix the card collection. Maybe that fixes that issue for them. Cool. Also, but why do all these cool characters have to suck? Like, are they going to exist in such a bad place where the only way that they're willing to fix Captain America is by making a broken Series 5 card?
That's what they're going to do. They're not going to fix the old stuff. They're just going to make new stuff to make the old stuff better. They don't want to do the process of all the extra.
I want the old stuff to be good.
Yeah.
And so I'm fine with it being a place where it's like, okay, they're going to use these random cards to make them good again. Sure. Why can't the old cards just be good?
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like, it just doesn't track to me. That logic doesn't make sense. And I don't know. I mean, what are your favorite Series 1? Like, what are your favorite of the early series cards when you look at these?
Well, I look at this deck right here, and I go Blade, Apocalypse. I said it earlier, America Chavez used to be in every single deck, and she is a Series 1 card that literally had a broken ability, and they had to change her back. I look at those. What else do I see? I mean, Angela. I played a lot of Angela. Cable. I think Cable's a very good Series 1 card, especially giving you the intel of what your opponent has, stealing a potential combo piece for them. Quicksilver and Domino. I'm using Quicksilver a lot for wicked things right now.
But the problem with all those decks is, Tuck, is that you can't use them early on.
No.
You have to have, okay, how do I want my Quicksilver and Domino deck to be good? It's easy. I just get this card, that, according to the economy in Second Dinner, is worth approximately $75 if you got those 4U bundles.
Yep.
Then I can get my Wiccan, and then Quicksilver and Domino are playable.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm over here like, okay, I'm doing some discard stuff. You know what's really fun for discard? This, what card is it? This really good Series 1 card, Swordmaster.
You have Lady Sif. You do have Lady Sif, but like Swordmaster, that is tough because I mean you don't even have a discard card really that you want to discard that's like an odd number.
Don't.
So like that's the worst part right there.
And she's not even that good. Like the problem is, according to again, and that's the thing with like future series, 3/5 isn't that good. That's like a baseline ability now. I've got Copycat at a 3/5. Why are you giving me Lady Sif?
Hey, if you buff Lady Sif, I would not be mad. I would not be mad.
Maybe. but then we got our Punisher.
Gosh.
I think that's not going to show up as that because it's technically a starter card. You get that as soon as you open the game. It's not even one of the ones you unlock in the fake season pass thing. But you got that. Why is Spider-Woman so bad?
She's a 512. What do you mean? Well, Luke Cage doesn't exist.
Bro, Luke Cage is a problem. I'm saying it. Luke Cage is a problem. Luke Cage is a problem. I don't get why he exists the way he does. This like I was on a tirade for a bit about the hammers. My next tirade is Luke Cage. I'm just letting you know. I'm on the hunt for Luke right now. It's a problem. Who's it? Mike Coulter played him in the Netflix series. I want to say
he did a great job. He
did. I'm sorry, Mike. I'm against you now. But no, there's so many really sick cards. Why do the coolest cards have to exist in these really mediocre places that just don't matter later on? And I will give a prop to like the earlier series. Series 1, Series 2, the starter cards. You've got your Shang-Chi's. You've got your Cosmos. You've got your Armors. Right? You've got your Killmonger.
Series 2.
That's why I said Series 1 and Series 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Which, again, sorry. Slight dissuade from the actual title of the segment. But why is that where it exists? But then at the same time, you have these really cool cards that do actually matter. And it's just like, it's such night and day when I look at, let's again talk about like maybe just the 5 costs, okay? Starter ability, Iron Man. Great card. It's used later on, and thankfully that's a very iconic character.
Yep.
But you know who else sits right there, right next to Iron Man at that 5 cost?
Professor X.
Professor X is one. Yep, he's a Series 1 card. I was also thinking Devil Dino.
Hey, Devil Dino is actually getting some love with Penny this past week, but you had to, of course, you have to have the Wiccan stuff and everything too for
yeah. And you know what? Don't worry, Devil Dino's getting a buff next month with Victoria Hand. But you know what? You know what series Victoria Hand is going to be in?
Wait, actually, so like Victoria Hand buffs the cards in your hand, so it actually is like a nerf to Devil Dino.
It buffs the cards that you generate from your hand. But I think it still works with Devil Dino because you're going to be generating extra cards. And so on the final turn, playing Devil Dino plus some of those extra generated cards, or cards that could generate more cards, it gives you multiple payoffs. It either lets you use the new cards you generated as payoff, or Devil Dino.
I think that's a full cope train, but I'll let you ride that one.
Okay, hey, you know what? I'm trying to give Devil Dino a point of power. My bad. Like, again. All right, one of my biggest complaint points. Why do we have to? Why do the cards with no ability have to be so many of them have to be such cool characters that you can't do anything with until you get another Series 5 card of High Evolutionary? I don't get it, Tucker.
They have to make money on this game somehow, and the way they make money is by selling cards. Not every card in the game can be playable, or we will never have a meta.
Why can't? Okay, it is really difficult. Power creep. I mean, here's the thing. Power creep is the only way that they can try to make every single card in the game playable.
Yes.
Without doing a banning system, full stop. It is the only thing that we can see. Yes. And it sucks, but it is where we exist.
Yeah.
But power creep some moral ones, please. Give me I want an OTA where they hit Series 1 and Series 2 and that's it. I don't want to see another. I don't want to see a Series 4. I don't want to see a Series 5 card. If it's a really maybe OP, fine. You're allowed one mess up. It's like dinner. But I want one where they say, you know what, Spider-Woman afflicts her cards at her location with -2 power now.
She's at 5/18 or 5/16.
Hey, how much is Gilgamesh?
Well, Gilgamesh,
Yeah,
you gotta work a little bit more for Gilgamesh. You have to
but
play
your
Blue
opponent
Marvel.
Has to commit to, but your opponent has to commit to a full lane. Yeah, Blue Marvel, that's it. But like that's what I want to see. I want to see stuff like that. I want to see a thing where we're looking at those cards and we're saying, you know what? Why doesn't Wolfsbane get make Wolfsbane 3/0, give her +3 for each card at her location? Really let you work with that Wong stuff. Let the Wong thing really pay off. Give me that stuff. I don't care if the abilities are good. Make Shocker a 2/4. I don't care if it's supposed to be the floor. Why are these cards so bad, Tucker? I don't. This whole section is me talking. This whole section is the forgotten cards, Tucker.
Yep.
Why are these cards ignored by second dinner? There are so many cool cards in here. Mr. Fantastic. The Fantastic Four are the first family of Marvel.
Yep.
Why, bro? Why ain't that card playable after the first month of the game?
It's a feels bad, man. You don't have the onslaught on Mr. Fantastic to just win you the other 2 adjacent locations, man.
No, if I'm really gonna be trying to commit more power to the middle lane to win the side lanes, I'm playing Miss Marvel, who still isn't even that good right now.
Still not even playing her.
What is it? But like, and then we have the Guardians.
Yep.
We have like 2 of them in Series 3 for some dumb reason. Drax is a Series 3 card. Imagine being like, okay, oh, this is it. I'm about to, let's see, what's a good Series 3 card that you really want? I'm about to unlock Wong. This is it. This is my Wong moment. Oh, sorry, you got Drax.
Freaking Drax, and they're so bad. All like, isn't Groot Series 3?
No, Groot's Series 1.
Groot Series 1, Gamora Series 2. No, Gamora Series 1.
I think so, yeah.
Star-Lord Series 1. Rocket Series 2.
They're all early
Adam
on.
Warlock
I don't remember.
Is Series 3.
I'm hurting, Tucker. I'm hurting.
I know.
I'm hurting.
Well, you know what's gonna bring you some joy? Some joy instead of all of these Series 1, Series 2, Series 3 cards. How about us getting a free Series 5 card? If you guys did not have Elsa, of course, if you have Elsa, it's not a brand new free Series 5 card for you, but we are getting a login event starting on the 19th, goes all the way through January 3rd, 2 weeks long, where you can get Elsa Bloodstone, Winter Vacation variant, which if you don't have Elsa, it counts as you having her as a Series 5 card. Of course, you still have to unlock her other version if you want to be like collection complete, like officially or whatever. But as soon as you get Elsa, like even if it's a variant here, you can start getting her variants in your shop. You're just still not labeled as collection complete until you get
You still got the base card.
Yeah, you don't
right?
have the base card.
So if she ever shows up inside of like a spotlight cache,
Yeah.
she'll still be there. So
Yes.
Again, complaining about the early series cards, it's cool they're giving us a later series card. That is really sick. It's again kind of similar, like, series drops are currently sucking right now. Sorry, series drop sucks. Here's a Series 5 card. It doesn't. It's not. I don't think it's for that, but I can think that in my mind, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's better. I don't know. I also, unrelated, I haven't seen the ice and snowflake card borders, and I really want to know what those look like. But I'm excited for just in general the fact they're giving us a winter vacation variant of this card, as well as just people who don't have her can play her, because I'm seeing especially with her getting buffed, she is getting played more. We're seeing more games with her. We're seeing more stuff with her, which is awesome to see. I love it when cards that I don't think about are getting played. That's really fun.
Yeah, and I think that's like really cool, especially because Elsa's been through a lot of highs and lows where she literally was unplayable, where she literally was absolutely busted. So it's interesting to see that there. But this also isn't the first time we've actually gotten a Series 5 card just in the game for free. If you guys were around Kitty Pryde when Kitty Pryde first came out, it was before Spotlights, and you're able to get Kitty Pryde in your like just regular caches back when you could get them with the low percentage chance, or you could buy them for 6K tokens. Still, that was applicable, and Kitty Pryde got removed from the game because she was breaking the game, like literally the coding was inside the game. So they removed her and they refunded people 6K tokens, and then they brought back Kitty Pryde, and then anyone who was just playing Marvel Snap at the time got a free Series 5 card, which was awesome. And Kitty Pryde then still gave you +2 power when she returned to her hand. She just wasn't breaking the game as much. I think there was something where she was even better beforehand. I forget what the original ability was.
I don't remember. I can look it up. But yeah, I remember that stuff.
But
yeah, I got her with that, and it was for free. I think I've got a free-to-play account technically still that I just don't use. But I do think I've got... I think I have her there because it was just, again, it was free. Why not?
Which also brings the question, okay? Do you consider the high voltage and Deadpool's Diner as
Devil's
like...
Diner. You said it right
I was thinking of Devil Dino and everything too. Do you consider those to be getting cards for free, or do you think because of the grind and effort you have to put into those game modes that you still have to work for it, opposed to it's just like given to you kind of thing? I mean, I guess I kind of answered the question there in a sense, but I think you're kind of maybe reading between the lines.
Yeah. It's weird. I kind of consider the high voltage to be free, but I also kind of don't consider Deadpool's Diner to be free, even though they both, neither one was free. It was an investment of time, but the investment of time in high voltage felt a lot more lax than it did in Deadpool's Diner.
Yes.
And so, I mean, honestly, I also think I had just straight up more fun in high voltage oftentimes. So I think if I'm going to go into those specifics, I do think I probably would say maybe it's technically none of them were free technically, but it is, those were kind of free. It's weird. But we've all, I mean, yeah, I guess these are only 2 times where we've gotten like a higher series card for free without, no time, no effort. Although, actually, do you consider the login, just having to log in effort? I feel like it's almost no, but I could still see it as a yes.
I think, honestly, the logins is something you would be doing anyways playing Snap. You're just starting your game, and it prompts you immediately on screen, and then you could just close out. So I think it is the most seamless or effortless way to get free stuff in Snap, which I am a fan of. And they've given us a variety of borders. We've gotten credits. We've gotten variants. Like we've definitely been blessed in this sense there. But there's been a couple of different other ways we've gotten some like free stuff in Snap, right?
Well, I'm thinking Twitch drops the first thing otherwise that I'm thinking of right here, right? We just got the new Magneto one, right?
Yep.
We've gotten that. What was the first? Do you remember what the first Twitch drop was? I was trying to think about this.
The first Twitch drop we ever got was for the launch on PC, and wasn't it the Devil Dinosaur?
Was it Twitch? Was that a Twitch drop, or I thought you just got that when you opened the game, which is a different thing as well. I think when you opened the game on PC, you got the Devil Dino. It was maybe was it the emote, or maybe it was just the Devil Dino's variant.
The Devil Dino emote is what you got in game. The variant is what you got from Twitch drops.
Interesting. Okay, that's what it was.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah. What is it? But no, those were some older ones as well. Those were a lot of fun. What was it? But then again, with Twitch drops, did it count with the what were those things? Spider-Man 2099. We got that, but I think he was Series 3 already at the time.
Yes.
Okay, got it. We had that one. I'm trying to remember what else we actually did have here in regards to the other ones. Then it was. Oh, was it one of the first? Was it also the Punisher one in the during the Miss Marvel season? Because it was
Punisher.
Was that one of the first ones?
That was, yes, that was one of the first Twitch drops, because that was last year is when they like really started doing Twitch drops.
Yeah. No, I feel like those were definitely, because that was, what is it? I remember when they talked about it on their Discord, they even said that they put both the PC version and Twitch drops both as like things that they wanted coming soon.
Yes.
Which was like a whole big thing a while ago, which it's great that they have it now. And that's really cool. But also, Twitch drops have changed a lot.
Yes.
We got, what is it? Because this most recent round of Twitch drops are really, what is it? They were a lot more generous compared to what I was actually thinking. Yeah. Was it one of the first ones? What you were talking about, the PC one? I don't think it was the Spider-Man Max Grek.
Yes, the Spider-Man Max Grek was the Twitch drop. That's what it was.
I think that was the very first Twitch drop we had when stuff got announced, and it was, what is it? I'm looking at back here. You also got, oh, and if you had that, because it was one that you could buy. If you had it, you also got 12K tokens instead. Pretty solid.
Yeah, 1,200 tokens.
Sorry, 1,200 gold.
Okay, you got a super rare in gold. Yeah. That's really good. Because I remember Robo had that.
Yeah, and then you also, what is it? Then they did stuff where like you got a bunch of different variants as well. The next one, because they were really trying to push the Twitch drops. There was a Nightcrawler, Sunspot, and a Moon Girl. Like there were a bunch of stuff there.
Yeah,
I remember.
Like
I think that was like right when the full yeah, I think that was like the full PC launch. Basically, it did that whole, all that stuff. Yeah, no, it's really cool to see like where we've gone from there, because I feel like we got a lot of stuff at first and then they kind of brought it down, and I feel like it's gone into a situation where they're trying to figure out like what is a good amount for Twitch drops.
Yeah,
because otherwise like it's not clear all the time.
No, it's like we're trying to have the balance of, we want people to watch Snap on Twitch, where we know Twitch isn't doing as well right now because maybe we're not doing as well. But we're trying to also not give too much, which is why I think it's been pretty generous this time around, whereas like last time it was just like a mystery variant. But like this time, with the team up with Marvel Rivals, being able to have the Magneto variant, Magneto boosters, it definitely felt more generous, and trying to find the balance of all of that. And I feel like we've had a couple other different opportunities to get free stuff in Snap 2, whether it is the random Galactus drawing thing, whatever, on the Marvel's website, which, you know, you either always get 50 credits or 30 boosters, or whether if it is, there was also the Discord for the Spider-Man skin. All you had to do is be logged into Discord and play Marvel Snap. And then there's been another iteration where you had to play Snap on PC to get like a variant or something. So like we have gotten stuff for free, but opposed to something like maybe as big as like this Elsa right here or the Kitty Pryde, it had been really a hot minute. We're not really getting the acquisition.
There was one thing recently we had, which was an apology.
Oh yeah, we did have SNAPmas as well.
Right? Split, like we're in the, what is it? SNAPmas I think ends today. They gave us an extra week of it as well, which is nice. But that was because, what is it? The rates were changed, and I think we're gonna have. They're hopefully gonna be. They're gonna do something different. They're gonna be back to what they were before SNAPmas, which I'll say. I noticed a little bit of an increase, but at the same time, it's still not a lot. But it's nice that it's at least back. It was what? It went from 10%, or it went from 25% to 10% to 35%, then back down to 25% for a like an ink or gold is what that was, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think they're going to publish the new rates whenever that actually occurs. Hopefully we'll see that stuff soon. I haven't seen it yet, and it'll probably be dropping, later today whenever this episode drops. But yeah, so you got, what is it? How much did you get there? I think I got 15,000 credits, I want to say.
I think I got close to, I think I was in the third or fourth highest tier. I think I got like 15.
I think it was 15. The next one was 7,500.
I got 15.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, no, I think we were both in that same bracket there in terms of, I think we had it was 100 missed split, like 10% of our stuff back there. That wasn't even the first, that's the third part of the rewards in terms of apologies, right? First we got a Magneto variant.
Yes. A Magneto variant and a cosmic rainbow border.
A cosmic rainbow, I forgot about that too. Oh, it's so bad. We had that one, and then we also had then we had the split rates increased.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got the actual Splitsmiths payout, basically
Mm-hmm.
this big thing. Yeah, I don't know what. At least I think those were the biggest payouts that we've had, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are the biggest rewards that we've gotten from any like either reimbursement or just like this is just like a brand new, hey, sorry, we messed up with series drops. Be on the lookout for something better in the future kind of thing to kind of just like band-aid stuff over, which I think is a good move on their part. Of course, it's not a big enough band-aid for some people, but I do think like this is fairly generous. And like normally, you know, these week events, like they're week events, they're not 14 days. So like it's cool to have 14 days worth of stuff. You're able to get 200 gold in this. You're going to end up getting on the upwards of, it looks like, almost 900 credits, which is also really solid. So be able to kind of almost split a card entirely.
One of the nice things I think is the fact that also Bloodstone's the day 7 reward. She's not at the end of it. She's actually right in the middle. So
Yes.
even if you don't want to get every single day, you don't care about the 3 snowflake blue, the 3 blue snowflake borders at the end of it, you can still get everything else, which is cool.
So Dance's equipment or whatever is kind of dying right now. So if he sounded a little robotic-y, we're sorry. But we do really appreciate you guys for watching the episode today, or listening to the episode, wherever you guys are listening or watching on whichever platform, because we're on, you know, YouTube, Spotify, and on Apple Podcast. But do you have any closing remarks, Dance, if your stuff is holding up right now?
As Optimus Prime, I'd like to say, for one, I'm really happy with my, speaking of robots, got my my Star Wars
that's
and
so
Darth
good.
Vader Christmas sweater on today. I very much love this one. It's very great. And you know what else I love, Tucker? I love twitch.tv/Tucker, where I can get some amazing content. And if y'all aren't following Tucker there, you definitely should be. You should also be subscribed there. You should also be subscribed to the actual YouTube channel if you're watching this that you're on right now. You should be drop them a like, comment down below. What is it? What's your favorite card from the early game? Let us know down below. There's a lot of really fun ones out there that unfortunately get slept on later on. But what is it? I really appreciate I really appreciate all those cards. There's some really cool ones out there, Tuck. Do you have anything else you want to throw out there before we end today?
So, Ty and I would like to say, if you guys want to see more cats on Marvel Yap, you guys have to stop what you're doing right now. But before you pause the video, I want to give you the instructions first, okay? I want you guys to go to notmydance's Twitch and YouTube and Twitter, and I need you guys to follow and subscribe to all of those channels. Those links will be down in the description. Absolutely fantastic content. Pretty much daily variety, Marvel Snap, some some Clue mystery games, Among Us. Clue mystery is probably just a really broad way to describe other stuff. He's also been playing
Social
Marvel
deduction
Rivals
is
with
an
me.
easy way to say that.
I don't even know what he just said, but whatever he just said, those type of games as well. Please follow my man on all platforms. Now you can pause this video. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Until the next time, if you guys, I think we're gonna try and have an episode on Christmas Eve. We'll see. If not, we'll let you guys know. We'll post about it. But until the next time, you guys have a good one, and laters.
Bye.